Well, we've been on time of use for the last 12 bills. This is our 12th bill on the time of use. From the period of May 23rd through June 27th, we used a total of 2,919 kilowatt hours. That's a 35-day period, which is high for our billing period. Normally, our billing period is somewhere between 29 and 31 days. So this is pretty high, 35 days. So there's basically 3 or 4 extra days on the bill. The total bill was $280.16. The average kilowatts per day was 83 kilowatt hours per day. If you notice the chart, you'll see that this June compared to last June, there has been a significant growth. And the difference is last June, we didn't have a full month of Ruby. We only had her for like a week on last June's bill. Because last June's bill, like this one, it stopped on about June 20th. And we got Ruby on June 14th. So there was only like 7 days on last year's June bill that showed Ruby charging. So this year, it was a full month. So you can see the year-to-year growth is pretty noticeable. My rule of thumb is approximately a third of our bill on average goes to charging Ruby. The other reason of a significant increase in the amount of our bill has to do with our rate changed. On June 1st, we switched to the summer rate, and we are now paying 20.458 cents per kilowatt for peak, and we are paying just over 7 cents a kilowatt for off-peak, 7.012 cents off-peak, and the shoulder is 11.945 cents per kilowatt hour. So there was a fair increase in the price compared to last year, where it was only 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So in the last year, the peak rate has went up almost 3 cents. But anyway, we used most of our energy was used off peak, well over 2,500 kilowatt hours was used off peak, and as you can see, a little of it, 250 kilowatt hours were used on peak. So basically, the total bill for electricity with the new rates was $258.26. The time of use savings for the past month was $31.06. And according to Duke, our total savings since switching to time of use versus flat rate has been $472.42. So since we've had 12 bills, I've put together a little chart. If you notice in January, you will see there's a red bar and a orange bar. The red bar is 2016 and the orange bar is 2017. This is a year-to-year comparison by month. The green bar is 2018. Well, in January of 2017 and in 2016, we didn't have Ruby, so we weren't charging. So you can see that the bill is very close. The amount of energy we used in January 2016 and January 2017 were very close. Very similar consistency in February 16 and February 17, March 16 and March 17. You can see that the prior 2 years, when we did not have Ruby and we weren't charging, you can see the values were pretty consistent in our energy use year to year. So now you can see starting in January, that's the green bar, that's January 2018. You can see the amount of additional electricity that we've used to charge Ruby. Said it another way, I took the average of our past years before we got Ruby and charted that with the months now that we've been using our post EV. So this chart shows the difference. And again, you can clearly see about a third of our electricity goes to Ruby. If you look at September, you notice that the bars are very close to each other. That's because the September bill for 2017 was an estimated bill and not actual. Some of the bill of October should be a little shorter, and September, the red bar in October should be a little shorter, and the red bar in September should be a little taller. But as you can see, again, about a third of our electricity goes to charge our EV. Okay, probably a better way to look at the electricity is how much are we spending per day. So I took the last 12 months that we've been on time of use, the actual amount per month that we paid, and I divided it by the number of days in that particular billing cycle. So as you can see, the cost per day has ranged from as high as $8.40 in last August to $5.76 per day in last September. And obviously, June, July, and August, which are big air conditioning months here in North Carolina, are expensive. And also, the heat, since we're all electric, our heat is also electric via our heat pump. And you can see that December was over $7 a day, and January was over $8 per day. Now, this may sound like a lot, $8 a day for electricity. But yesterday, I filled up my GMC, and it cost me $58. I used to do that once a week. So that's approximately, I used to spend approximately $7 a day just on gasoline. So when you actually think about it, our electricity consumption is a very good value. We get a lot for the $8 a day that we get. We get all the miles that we put on Ruby, plus all our lighting and entertainment and air conditioning, water heating, and all those others come from our electricity. So, you know, $8 may sound like a lot per day, but in actuality, compared to what you would spend on gasoline, it's actually not very much at all.
Well, there's Dawn pulling Ruby out for me. Thanks, Donnie.
You're welcome, pretty girl.
Good morning, Ruby. So we got to put on a new software update last night. We're at 2018.24.1. Yeah. Software updates for Tesla owners is like offering candy. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. So this is the update that has the speed limit mode, the one that you can set the max acceleration between 50 and 90 miles per hour. It changes the way Autopilot nags you, the wording at least. Let's see. It does a few other things. It's talking about navigation beta and traffic aware cruise control. I think that stuff is not as new as sort of in the 2018.21. But anyway, so exciting stuff. Johnny and I are ready to leave, but Tux is down on the driveway. Poor Don's having to reach down and rub his tummy. Thank you, Donnie. He tried to follow Don to the mailbox, even though I wasn't with him. Bye, Donnie. We love you. All right, see you in a little while after my chiropractor's appointment. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Mom.
You have a good day, okay?
You too.
They're going to the Museum of Life and Science in Durham today, a museum we used to visit all the time. You should have a good time up there. I'll see you. Love you too. See you this afternoon.
You too.
Well, navigation is taking me east and on the outer Beltline I-540. I am doing a little autopilot test here on this nice wide open area of I-540. After each new software release, I just like to be, you know, a little bit cautious the very first time I engage it. Seems to to be doing just fine this morning. I have my following distance set to 7, and I'm just kind of cruising here behind the guy in front of me. Getting close to my exit, so I'm going to use the turn signal to get over a lane. Autopilot handled that no problem. She should also pick up speed a little bit, as this guy in the Yukon was not quite going the speed limit. So I am taking this Lewisburg exit. Let's see what she does up here with the turn signal to get off at this exit. Yeah, there's just no way to exit there, put on the turn signal with enough time for Autopilot to do anything about it. Although I am still in traffic aware cruise control, and she is slowing down significantly for the exit ramp approaching the stoplight, so. I'm up here at Dr. Barnes' office now. I'm going to see Dr. Vivian this morning. So that exit for Lewisburg 401 up here by Wake Tech, Capitol Boulevard North, it has a very short exit ramp there. So there's basically no time at 70 mile an hour, which is the speed limit on that part of the interstate, to signal Autopilot to get in the exit lane to take the exit. So I ended up, you know, putting on the turn signal and just moving, you know, at the same time, sort of moving over, because I had to go quick. I mean, there was nobody behind me, but what happened was, as you know, is when you turn the wheel and get out of Autopilot, it puts you back into traffic aware cruise control. So my foot was not on the gas pedal. And as I was on the exit ramp, the car slowed up for the stoplight at the end of the exit ramp. I mean, there's no other way around it. I was down underneath 40 mile an hour, and she just kept on coming to a nice gradual stop. And I eventually put my foot on the brake, because she's not supposed to stop for stoplights or stop signs yet. But I know that I'm just going to say that I think that that was a little bit different, that I do think that she really did come to a slow down a good bit on that exit ramp, even though I couldn't signal to get over there. You know, in that instance, the car is basically going to have to know navigation, which I had it set, that I'm getting off there and get me off, because there's no time to signal Autopilot to switch lanes over there. But that was a little bit different. But I didn't get any nags, and Autopilot seems to be running fine so far on 2018.24.1. So as I came through the parking lot over here to my parking space at the chiropractor's, a guy was backing out, and he was backing out quick. I was not speeding through the parking lot, and he like floored it in reverse out of his parking space. So I honked the horn, and he slowed up, and I went left a little bit, and everything was good. But he just was being a little overconfident on it reverse there. I mean, had he been going a little bit more out of the space, I would have stopped. But you know, it was kind of like he came out of that space with no warning. I would have been glad to let him complete coming out of the space. You know, had there been enough visibility to see that that's what he was doing, but there just wasn't in that case. So Don sent me a message that said he was getting caught up on reading yesterday's paper, and that Volvo and FedEx have started testing platooning trucks on NC 540. You might remember that Don and I mentioned that toll road that's on our side, the part of 540 that's over by Holly Springs Apex on our side of town, that goes up to RTP, is a autonomous driving corridor. I said this is the first time that's actually been used to test future vehicles since it was constructed. So the State Turnpike Authority should be quite pleased about that. I guess in this platooning test, all the trucks still had drivers, but they were allowed to drive particularly close together. Continuing with the train theme, here is a picture of the last remaining J locomotive, the J611. It's a Norfolk and Western engine. It was restored in 2015 after 2 years of fundraising and restoration work. A lot of the work was done at the Spencer shops at the in the back of the Julian Roundhouse in North Carolina, although this engine is owned by the Virginia Museum of Transportation. It has run excursions. They've had behind the throttle. They bring it back and forth between the North Carolina Transportation Museum and the Virginia Museum of Transportation to try to get the maximum number of people to see it and donate. And anyway, it's way super cool. And if you ever get a chance to see it, you should. My adjustment went okay. She took it kind of easy on me today. I told her I think yesterday is the worst pain day I've had yet. I have a call back into the orthopedic place to try to go ahead with the MRI and whatever else they wanted to do to try to help instead of waiting the 4 weeks, because things just got too bad for me yesterday. So yeah, it's kind of maybe hard to schedule these things around our 4th of July holiday, which is coming up this coming week, but we'll do what I can. I'm gonna try taking East 540 back home, so basically go back exactly the way that I came. She was gonna take me on 440 on the west side of Raleigh, which is what she usually does later in the morning when there's less traffic. But this other road is really nice too, and it can't be more than a couple of miles or a couple of minutes longer. So yeah, I'm gonna try to reverse my route this time. Situations where I want to get over here on Highway 401 South, but Ruby won't go. So I'm gonna have to get out of autopilot and move her. Well, I made it all the way to the big stoplight in Fuquay, and I'm still on autopilot. And I'm gonna go ahead and disengage now. But I did not have any nags. I did not have any abnormal behavior, and it was a pleasurable driving experience coming home. I stopped in over here at the garden hut to check out the sunflowers. They had posted a few pictures to Facebook. They are pretty, but I'm sitting here in the car to stay out of the sun because it's already 91 degrees. It's 12:15, I'm home, and I'm pulled into the garage, but I've got a PT appointment in town, I think at 1:15, so I'll be going back out again pretty soon, but car will stay a lot cooler inside the garage than outside today in the hot, sunny driveway. Great girl. Hi, honey. Hello. How are you? You gonna jump up for some attention? That's my good girl. That's my good girl. Yep, I had just enough time to go in and say hello to everybody and refill the hummingbird feeder because it was empty and the Hummer was out there looking for his nectar, and get back in the car to go to Fuquay for my PT appointment. It's just one of those hectic days. Well, PT went okay today. He had me, I guess, get on a bicycle / rowing machine for 8 minutes. That went okay. That hurt a little bit. He used heat at the end of the session. That always feels good. I guess right now I feel okay. I'm not in horrible pain, but I don't certainly feel fixed. And I got my MRI scheduled for next week, so maybe we can get some more answers. Of course, I have to wait back to hear what my insurance will cover and what we'll have to pay, because they don't know, or they don't want to tell you that when you schedule your appointment, because then you might shop around. I don't know. I really don't want to do or be in the medical system. If I could avoid it, I would. And I tried to play Pokemon Go coming through Fuquay, and I couldn't because I only have roaming service or 3G service. Again, this happens all the time. Sometimes we have great LTE and sometimes not. I don't understand how with Sprint it can be so variable, our service in Fuquay. So I'm frustrated because I couldn't play Pokemon Go. Well, I've watched my YouTube videos for the day and had my power nap, and it's time to go pick Johnny up from Taekwondo. Hopefully the cell network will be better in town and we can catch a few Pokestops on the way home, or I'm going to be in a grumpy mood. So how was your day, buddy?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I heard you walked and walked and walked at the museum. You got your 10,000 steps today?
Yep.
Way cool.
Let's see, I have...
It's all right. He's got a lot of steps today.
11,847 steps.
That's more steps than I have. So Miss Kelly met us here at the Taekwondo school, and she traded me a milk tank Pokemon, which I did not have. I am super excited about having that Pokedex entry. People that have those, they hatch them from eggs, and I just didn't have one of those eggs, so that was way cool. Look what I hatched out of an egg, and I have enough candies to evolve. This guy is like a rainbow pattern when he's evolved. He's way super cool. Of course, I already had a Grimer and I already had a Muck, but not this special Muck. Wow. That is so cool.
Tap him.
I did tap him. He doesn't. Oh, okay, here we go. This is also important.
I do have to warn you though, for this Alolan, the pre-evolution looks better.
Aww. Just a little over 90 miles today.